Good morning and welcome back to the Livingston Parish News Morning Show. My name is McHugh David, publisher and editor of the news. If you're watching us live, appreciate that. If you're watching us later, we do post these shows at www.livingstonparishnews.com/podcast, and we have audio and video versions there. We appreciate you watching us there if that's where you're consuming this news. Jumping into the traffic and weather as we roll right through today, there is a wreck on Juban Road. Please try to avoid that at all costs. It's on Juban north of I-12. So you can either go down to 447 in Walker and come down to the interstate, or you can go through Denham Springs. Current backups on I-12 all the way to Juban Road itself. Just a lot of trouble getting on the on-ramp there. Minor delays after Millerville Road if you're heading on I-12 westbound. Unfortunately, not the clear roads that we had yesterday during Veterans Day. Of course, a little bit of rain, too, always causes a little bit of consternation in the morning. There's also heavy delays on 190 heading into the intersection of 4-H Club Road and River Road. However, 4-H and River Road relatively clear this morning, so that should clear up pretty quickly as that light funnels people through. Minor delays on 64 heading into Central. Weather today, it is currently 37 degrees because of wind chill and rain. It feels like 28. You've got a high of 43. Got cold quick. Many people probably felt the wind last night, or at least heard it coming through roughly about 10 o'clock, and it hadn't really stopped since then. Low of 25 overnight. Please remember, cover your plants, protect your pets. If you can't bring them inside, at least put them in a covered area with some warm blankets or something to keep them warm. And also, wrap your pipes, protect your pipes. Very good idea to do that. Take it from me. Ways to do that, there are several things you can put on the side of your house to put on the outside of the pipes to protect them. You can keep a slow drip running inside the house. You can do both. You can also wrap them. They have special wraps in Home Depot and Walmart if you have fully exposed pipes on the outside of your house. Talking about traffic implements in Walker, Parish Councilman Tracy Girlinghouse of District 7 was dealing with a situation with a new D.R. Horton subdivision called Foxglove coming to the Duff Road area, which comes off of, I guess you could say, East Burgess and goes north all the way to Arnold Road. Duff Road does. Somewhere north of there, Foxglove will be implemented. It's 68 homes. So Mr. Girlinghouse said, we will give you the occupancy permits here at the parish, but you have to work with Walker on installing a light and turn lanes at Burgess Road and Duff Road. The reason being is that a traffic study on the subdivision done by DOTD shows that Duff Road would move into a category where it would need a turn lane and a light put at Burgess. Now, the Department of Transportation and Development at the state is not going to do that for them. That burden lies either on the parish, the city, or the developer. Most likely, if it fell on a governmental entity, it would be the city, because the city owns that intersection. They manage that piece of Duff Road as well as Burgess, so they would have to do that. So the cooperative endeavor between the parish and Walker says that the developer has to put that in by the time the 67th house is complete, because according to the DOTD traffic study, once you get to house 68, that is when that intersection will drop into a category where it needs a light and a stop sign. So Parish Councilman Tracy Girlinghouse couldn't have more homes, I guess you could say, or less homes complete before he required that. Couldn't be half or anything like that. Had to be that 67th and 68th because of the study. However, the developer agreed, as well as their engineer, which is Quality Engineering and Surveying. So be on the lookout for a light and turning lanes coming to Burgess Road at Duff Road now that that subdivision, which is Foxglove, is complete. Again, that's going to put about 68 new homes and more cars on Duff Road in the morning. School system rolled out an incentive program starting in the 2017-2018 school year, looking to increase or decrease, rather, teacher absences. So the school system was already well above average, somewhere in the 80 percentile range of teacher consistency. So you're looking at 10 to 15% teacher absences. But in the wake of the Great Flood. As we know, FEMA was more in the business of reimbursing, not paying up front for some of these things. So money was coming out of the school's coffers to do repairs, cleaning, repairs, renovations, all that sort of thing. And they asked, school administration, central office administration, how can we save money? So the HR department under Bruce Chaffin looked into teacher absences and substitute pay. They restructured how they pay substitutes, and because they realized that they were paying $150,000 a month just for day-to-day substitutes. That doesn't even, take into account long-term substitutes. So from there, they had to make, I guess you can say, some sort of incentive program to keep teachers in the classroom. Because as Bruce Chaffin said, it's not just about the savings, but the more consistent teachers are and the more they are in front of their kids, the better the learning environment. What he came up with was discussing with Carlos Williams, who's the technology director at the school board, about a mobile computer cart for a school or schools that had the best attendance in that year. Wasn't really sure how well it would go over. Carlos Williams was on board with it, and it went over pretty gangbusters. In the first month alone, they saved $35,000. By the middle of the year, or the end of the first semester, $200,000. And by the end of the year, it was $772,000 worth of savings. They carried that forward to the next year. So that was a permanent savings on the school board ledger, which then turned into $115,000 between the 2018 and 2019, which would have been last year's school year. Also permanent savings, so they've dropped again. Mr. Chaffin's hoping that they can pull together about $150,000 this year in savings to push that total yearly savings up over $1 million. What he did say, however, is that they are at the 94 to 95% roughly teacher participation rate, or so you're looking at 5 to 6% absent rate, which he said is now well above the national average, and he's very happy with that. And again, he said it's about teacher consistency and keeping them in front of the students. The savings is just it's a bonus. So congratulations on the incentive program at the schools. He didn't have a list of winners for me, trying to get that, but congratulations to those schools that won. The cross-country teams that are going to state include the Live Oak boys and girls, as well as the Denham Springs boys. Congratulations to those teams for qualifying. I believe that is next week. The state meet will be next week. Northside Elementary collected food for a food pantry, local food pantry. The winning collector was Miss Jamie Lynn Digray, I think. If I've never heard your name before, I am sorry if I butchered it. But I believe her name is Jamie Lynn Digray. 250 cans were collected of the 1,700 total cans collected at Northside. So congratulations to Northside on that. That's a really great, it's a really great thing to do. The Denham Springs Theater will be performing an independent play that was the idea of several students, including Cameron Beal, who first proposed it to the theater teacher or the drama teacher at Denham Springs High School. It's called Vlad and Alex, You Can Count on Me. It is about following Alex, who is trying to help Vlad, who is a vampire. They're trying to get all these washed up monsters to regain their ability to be horrific. It should be an interesting play. It's 2 nights, this Friday and Saturday at Denham Springs High School. Doors open, I believe, at 6 p.m. and the play starts at 7, so please keep an eye out for that. Yesterday was Veterans Day. However, the parish celebrated Veterans Day on Friday in some places and yesterday. Mr. David Gray attended as many as he could this year. Got out Jubin Park Elementary from Friday. Also a reminder, be thankful for Texas Roadhouse because they supplied lunch for many veterans yesterday between 11 a.m. and 4 p.m. As part of what they were doing for the Veterans Day celebration was offering a free lunch during that time, as long as you could prove or had proof of service. So thank you to Texas Roadhouse for that over there at Jubin Crossing. Again, one more time, around with your traffic. There is a wreck on Jubin Road. Please try to avoid that at all costs. Delays have backed up to to Jubin Road on I-12 westbound, so please keep an eye on that. There are delays on 190 heading into the 4-H Club Road, River Road, and 190 intersection. However, moving relatively swift, which is relatively swift, and minor delays on River Road and 4-H Club Road. Of course, as I-12 begins to stack up, more people will be getting on 4-H Club and Rushing Road, I guess you can say as well. Excuse me. Your weather today, it's currently 37 degrees. 28 degrees is your high. Feels like 28 degrees. 43 degrees is your high with a low of 25 overnight. Please remember to cover your plants, protect your pets. If they have a house outside, make sure they can stay warm. If they don't, try to bring them inside where it is warm. Because you're looking, again, that low of 25. You also need to wrap your pipes, especially if they're completely exposed. On the outside of the house, if you have spigots, they have special things that you can put on them, or you can just wrap them with a cloth. My name is McHugh David, publisher and editor of the news. Appreciate you joining us this morning for the Livingston Parish News Morning Show. Again, you can catch these at www.livingstonparishnews.com/podcast. They are free there. We have audio and video versions. We're also on Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, Instagram, and YouTube. We're online, as mentioned. We are once a week in print, $7 a month. We come to your mailbox every Thursday for that edition, or you can find us for $2 in the racks in certain stores. Thanks again for joining us this morning. Please try to stay warm and dry today, as the rain will continue, and it's only going to stay relatively cold all day. And we will see you tomorrow morning. I'll be back in the booth for Hump Day. Have a great day.